What's going on, everyone? GHJ TV here, back for another video. And in today's video I'm going to go over and recap both FA Cup semi-final fixtures, which was Man United versus Everton, which finished 2-1 to United, and Crystal Palace versus Watford, which finished 2-1 to Palace. And the first game I'm going to talk about is the Saturday one, 5:30 kick-off, and it was Man United versus Everton. I thought Man United were going to win this one, but obviously it wasn't as easy for them as I thought it would have been, because Everton have been, we all know how poor they've been this season under Martinez, and a lot of their fans are getting unhappy with him now, and most of them want him out. But I was expecting, to be honest, Man United to have less problems than they did, because in the first half, if it weren't for Lukaku not having a first touch, I think Everton could have been 1 or 2-0 up. But obviously Man United got a bit lucky in a sense, because Lukaku obviously didn't finish his chances, and they've gone up the other end with Fellaini against his old team, and they've took one of their first chances of the game, and they took the lead. On from there, I mean, it was Everton, to be honest, were poor in the first half. Man United controlled most of the first half. They had most of the possession, and I think, you know, Everton, they got a bit, like I just said, they got a bit unlucky with Lukaku not having his shooting boots on. And on another day, I think Lukaku would have finished his chances, and I think Everton could have easily have been in the lead before Man United went up the other end and scored. The second half was a much better shine by Everton, in my opinion. They were causing a lot of problems to Man United's defence. You know, they got the penalty for Ross Barkley, which in my opinion, it could have gone either way. I mean, there wasn't the greatest deal of contact, but as he made the tackle, he clipped his foot. He clipped Ross Barkley's right foot, and then got the ball, so he got the man first. So yeah, I think it probably was a penalty, but I've seen them ones not given. I've seen more blatant ones given. So you could say Man United got a bit unlucky, but it probably was the right decision. Lukaku stepped up, and I've seen him miss a few penalties, to be honest, and he didn't put it right in the corner. But David De Gea, what a save! I mean, he's just top class, this goalkeeper. I mean, Man United have got to try their best to try and keep hold of him, and they tied him down to a new contract, which is great for Man United, because he was on his last contract, on his last year this season on his contract, and he would have been going to probably Real Madrid on a free. He might still go, because Man United probably won't have Champions League football next season. Although if they do win the FA Cup, that might persuade him to stay. He might think that they could push on from winning the FA Cup and get a bit of silverware after 2 years or 3 years. But like I said, Everton causing a lot of problems in this second half. They had the penalty. Lukaku obviously stepped up. David De Gea saved it. Everton, they didn't let it get to them. They carried on pushing, and then Deulofeu come on, and he whipped the ball in. And I mean, what is Smalling doing going with that foot? I think he definitely went with the wrong foot there. He's got to try, and he tried to go with his right foot, and it just deflected into the back of the net. Nothing De Gea could do about that one. But like I said, he probably should have gone with his left foot, and he probably would have got it away, and it wouldn't have been 1-1. To be honest, I think Martial's winning goal in the 93rd minute come from pretty much nothing. Man United were pushing forward, and then I think Man United got a bit lucky, and Herrera managed to poke the ball through towards Martial, and he stayed calm. He didn't panic. The occasion didn't get to him in front of 90,000 at Wembley with millions watching on the telly. It didn't get to him, and he just tucked it away. And I love the fact, even though I'm not a United fan, I just love the fact that he ran straight to the United fans and, you know, shared the moment with them, because it's a great moment for them. Although one thing I will say is, when Arsenal won the FA Cup, Man United fans, people like Steve Howson on Full Time Devils saying, even people like Paul Scholes saying, I don't want Man United to become a team where they're happy with finishing fourth and winning the FA Cup, because when they scored that winning goal, and it's not even the final, it was the semi-final, they were all going ballistic. So I don't know, you know, I think they've been a bit hypocritical there, because FA Cup's still a great trophy to win, and I don't know why people, you know, wouldn't be amazed to win it. I mean, it's not a Champions League and it's not a Premier League, but it's still a great trophy to win, and with a lot of history. So I think Man United fans got to be careful with what they're saying. Moving on now, talking about Watford versus Palace. This one finished 2-1 to Crystal Palace. Before the game, I thought Watford were going to get the win and go to the final, but it weren't to be for them, and Palace played really well in my opinion. They took the lead early on. I think it was the 6th minute through Yannick Bolasie. It was a great header, a great leap as well. I mean, I haven't seen Yannick Bolasie score too many headers, but Yannick Bolasie, I mean, he does really make the difference for Crystal Palace, because he's been out for a while this season and they've just not looked the same without him. Look where they are down the bottom, they're in 15th. There was one point where they looked like they might be battling for relegation, but they managed to obviously stay up. And I mean, yeah, like I said about Yannick Bolasie, he just makes a difference for them. He's just got that bit of skill, that bit of flair that, you know, every team needs going forward, and he really makes a difference for them. I think if they didn't have him in this game, I think Watford would be going to the final. Watford did manage to come back into the game though through Troy Deeney, their captain. It was a good header by him. Managed to get in front of, I think, the defender. I can't remember who the defender was actually, but it was a good leap from him. Managed to get over the Crystal Palace defender, put it in the bottom corner, and Watford fans were going mental at the time, and you can't blame them, because it's not often teams like Watford and Palace get to semi-finals and that, because obviously there's of the quality in English football at the minute. I mean, obviously this season probably an exception, but I mean the teams have still got abundance of quality. People like Chelsea could have easily come through, even West Ham, even, you know, City, Arsenal. These are all out, which at least one big club normally makes it to this stage, and obviously this year it was Man United. Crystal Palace over, swift reply. I mean they conceded, they didn't let it get to them. They went up the other end, and Connor Wickham with an absolute brilliant header. He managed. It looked like if you watch it back, when I first saw it, it looked like he lent on Nathan Ake to get that leap, but it was just, in the end, it was just a brilliant leap and header, because to get that high, and I mean I think you've got to blame Nathan Ake a little bit from Watford, because he sort of like crouched down and he didn't jump up and try and get the header clear. He sort of just let Connor Wickham jump over him and get a free header on goal, which as a defender you can't be doing, and he's got to expect it. Someone, especially Connor Wickham coming off the bench, he scored plenty of headers, and he's quite a tall striker as well. So, you know, he should have. I think Nathan Ake could have done a lot better there, but deservedly so. I think Crystal Palace, they got the win, and it was deserved in the end. I thought throughout the 90 minutes they did deserve it. I think players like Bolasie and Wilfried Zaha were just too much for Watford to handle on the big Wembley pitch, and Crystal Palace will meet Man United in the FA Cup final in May. So that wraps up my FA Cup semi-final review. Make sure if you enjoyed the video, you do hit that like button, because it really, helps me out, lets me know that you're enjoying all the content. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you later.